All right, this is Crypto, where we defy tyranny. It is April 4th, 2024, and we got a little bit of a bounce today. Nothing too crazy on Bitcoin, but the whole crypto market did take a bounce. I'm personally still not very convinced of this bounce. Not to be a pessimist or anything, but I just think we're probably going to be getting more of a pullback at some point here. Now, we could be making another run up into the halving, and then we get a pullback in May. My thesis is that there'll be a sell in May, go away type of thing. That will probably happen during the summertime lull in the stock market, and that may affect the crypto markets. And then we'll probably make another run towards the end of the year and the fall and Christmas. That's pretty common, I guess, within just the seasonality of Bitcoin and everything. Like stock market, you have to kind of take that into effect. There's tax season, there's holiday season, holidays, everyone gets crazy. There's always like a Halloween rally, and so it's just there is a seasonality to everything. So assuming that we're in an ascending triangle formation right here, I'm not convinced. Again, I'm thinking that we're going to turn this thing around, make a descending triangle, and come back down to 49K, somewhere around here. But everyone online is very bullish, so it's possible that this is like the big bull run that we're going to come on up the halving and start making bigger moves. So I want take a more bullish stance here then. So if we do break out of this situation, take the basically the size of the flag, right, and then pull on up of the triangle. And if you break out, most of these triangles, they break out 60 to 70% towards the end. So you're looking at like end of April, beginning of May. It's kind of breakout, and it could go up to might say 95,000. So that's certainly in the cards. Personally, I just want us to have the pullback so we can recharge a lot of these indicators. But we are looking at the daily. The daily is looking like it's pretty much recharged. Like we're coming down, and we come down a little bit further here too. But honestly, the daily doesn't look as exhausted as it's been lately. 4 hours starting to come up. Doesn't look too exhausted one way or another, really. Let's look at the 3-day real quick. 3 days turned down. Most indicators, stochastic's already pretty much fully recharged. But we are getting across here. It looks pretty rough. But we could get something like this and then pull back, so maybe a pull and then back further up. That's the 3-day. Take a look at the weekly. And the weekly is, still bullish momentum, obviously. It's just, personally, I want us to see like kind of a pullback and then then move on forward. But obviously, Bitcoin is wanting to run really hard. You get the ETFs. There's still a lot of buying activity there. And then you have the Bitcoin halving coming. And, it's going to be interesting to see how far we really get going. But basically, the point we are right here is the same point as here from the previous breakout. And once we do break out, we can take a look at a few indicators. Okay, well, how much does it break out afterwards? How much time do we have in this bull market? And that's a couple things we're going to explore right now. And please hit the likes, hit subscribe, leave a comment below. Definitely appreciate it. I did this for free. This is my way of keeping tabs on myself, but also trying to throw out any kind of alpha. Chart analysis. I've been doing this for I've been in the market, crypto market, since 2017, but I've been probably investing since like 2014, 2015. But I've been looking at charts probably for 6 or 7 years now. And I've definitely learned a lot, and there's always more to learn for sure. It's just these things have a certain rhythm and a pattern, especially within Bitcoin. It's a 4-year cycle generally. This market might be a little bit different. Let me check this, make sure we're good. Okay. I also want to look at the gold ETF. I don't know if I can pull that up today, but I just kind of want to compare the gold ETF to the Bitcoin ETF and kind of give some ideas there. But I don't think I think Bitcoin is just going to keep on operating the way it usually operates. The halving cycles will dictate its inflationary properties, and I think that's just part of the beauty of it all. I don't think it can be manipulated in the same way that gold could be. So that's where I'm at. So, all right, we'll take a look at. Okay, so we're about right here. How long did it take for us to break through that all-time high? That's the first thing we're going to do. So date range. We're going to go start testing it there. 2, 3, 4 bars, 4 to 5 weeks. Okay. Now, where are we at here? Our first real test. Yeah, we'll say it started here. All right, so we'll say 4 to 5 weeks. 1, 2. I mean, according to that, we should be breaking in the next week or two. I would like to see us maybe consolidate a little longer. I think another week. We're at our week 5. I think another week or two actually would be good. It gives a little bit more time to accumulate. And this is certainly probably their last accumulation before we just pop off. A lot of people are saying once we break this, we'll never come back. I actually would probably have to say that I think if we break this, go to 120, 150K in the next year, this will be a really strong line of support resistance. Likely this will be our next bear market bottom. It could even be 30 to 42K because we really didn't make much volume in those areas. Depending how far we go, if we go to like $300,000 or $400,000 per Bitcoin, yeah, we probably won't ever come back down here. But I don't see us going much further into the 100Ks, 120, 150, 170. I really just don't see it happening. But yeah, we'll see. All right, how far did it go when it did break out? And let's do that. Broke out. And we'll take it from the first high. Sorry. What's wrong with this thing? Yeah, we broke out. We went up to a high. 240, 250%. We'll say 250%. Now, if we break out and we do a 250% rally from here, where will we go? Actually, I need to zoom out more. Whoopsie. I hope I didn't just take that out. Oh. Maybe I might have just erased that. I hope not. But yeah, so let's do 250%. There it was. It's about that. So 250% takes us to 279. $279,000 per Bitcoin. We're gonna stretch this out, and I want to see how much time it could take us to get to that point if we repeat last cycle. And honestly, we're probably not going to have this aggressive of a move so quickly and then consolidation. So I think we're going to have more of a rally similar to 2017, if I had to guess. That's what I'm getting. I think it's going to be more methodical. This has been more manipulated. I think they're trying to make this a little bit easier for people to grasp, BlackRock being those people. So we'll take a time base. Let's see. Date range. Time to its full all-time high. We'll go to that first area. 315 days. We'll go 300 days. I'm thinking 300 days. It's kind of like a little bit of a happy medium. 300 to 350 days. All right, so overlay that with the price. 276,000. February 2025. That's interesting, actually. That is actually very interesting because a lot of people are thinking that this will be a shorter cycle. And if it is a shorter cycle, then that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm actually going to go ahead and change that a little bit because I'm thinking that we'll go to the first all-time high, the amount of days. So we said 300. I think February is a little bit soon for next year, February 2025. My projections have been like March, April, May, or even June, July next year is when the all-time high or the top will be. But let's see. Now, just because Bitcoin tops doesn't mean the whole crypto market's going to be like done. No, it's like this is very speculative. Apologies for that, but yeah, we'll go ahead, go to that all-time high there. Gives us 336 days. That's not much more than what we were just playing around with. So if we break out here, this would be, I'm going to go with like a pretty hard stop there. Actually, it kind of matches a lot of my projections. Yeah, so that takes us to April of next year. And yeah, I'm thinking that's probably what we're looking at. And so we can look at the altcoins haven't even begun running. They haven't started their run yet. They'll probably be 2 or 3 months behind Bitcoin. So I'd say by May or June, April, May, June, July, maybe that would be the top for altcoins, or they may go further. It's hard to say. This is all speculation. And I mean, do I think it's going to go to 250,000? Probably not. So what we're going to do now is project from previous breakouts of the all-time highs. What was this first one, right? So I want to take an average of the two. And there's actually there's more cycle. There's another cycle before this, but we're just going to go with these two for now. So previous all-time high broken about here. Now this was almost 1,500% breakout, right, from this all-time high break. So to go from 1,400% to 250%, that's a pretty big difference there. Very big difference. So I wouldn't expect more than maybe 50 or 100%, honestly. So let's see. Let's project 50 and 100 just to be really conservative about this. Price range, okay. Or actually, we won't need to do that. We'll go with this. I mean, you think it like at 50%, you're looking at 120,000 right there. Bam. So 1,400% divided by, let's do a little math here, right? We're going to just kind of guesstimate. 1,400%. Whoops. Well, that's a track I'm working on with my band. Apologies for that. All right, so 1,400%. It's like 17% of that previous. Okay, so 0.20. So we want to do 250% divided by times 0.20. We'll say times 0.20. Yeah, 50% is kind of one of the. Yeah, I mean, I think to be safe, I think 120 to 125, 130,000 would be some of my take profit zones. I know it's kind of lackluster, but it is what it is, really. I would even go. That's it there. So like, what I'll do is I'll just set a couple of markers. That'd be like one take profit zone. Let's find this thing. Maybe 75% would be 138,000. I mean, also a lot of what people do is just really do by time base. I mean, I think within the next year, over this course of period of time, you're probably safer to go ahead and take some of these profits, right? So maybe 100%. So 100% takes us about 150. I mean that's pretty. I mean, to me, these are numbers that are realistic, and if you go to $150,000, that's a 10x from $15,000, which would be our previous all-time high. So I'm not going to put this as a hard stop. This would be like a yellow or orange. The hard stop will probably be like June, July, August, September. This is something that any of y'all could do. April. I'm going to go put that. I want to put this in May. And I'll have make another one in February, March. This is just like for future reference, so I can kind of study myself in the future for what I think may happen. But I think a hard stop in September, probably. October, September, I would say. Because this market definitely moved faster than previous. And I want to go off what happened when Bitcoin broke its previous all-time highs. And I think that's a safer bet. Like, how long did this first one last? This is our last measurement. And we can go look at some cooler, what the altcoins are doing and whatnot. So date range from all-time high. How long did it last? The real bull market. You could say maybe it lasted to here. 315, 330 days. Now this also goes with, it's just really difficult for me. I mean, the only way I would actually expand these numbers to come up to a September or October is if we get a dump now and we get another chance to accumulate before we break out. If we break out now, I have to assume that we have 2 or 3. Actually, I have a whole nother cycle that did pretty similar. We have to assume that this thing's only going to last 300 days once it breaks the all-time high. And a lot of people are saying, we already broke the all-time high. We went to 7. From a log perspective, we really haven't broken anything yet. So that's why another reason why I'm like, I don't want us to break it yet. I want us to fall down and fake out, get everybody scared one more time, and then we go. But if that does not happen, then we have to assume that this could be a left translation cycle. It might be a faster cycle, and we're going to have to get out a year from now. And that's the reality of all of that. Yeah. And of course, Bitcoin again, it usually runs first, and the altcoins will spatter for another few months. So usually Bitcoin will top, and then will fall down, and then it will try to come back up to go top that high, and then it fails. It's like it did right here. Another example would be where it did right here. It tries to come back up to create more of a bull market, then it just falls, and then it breaks its like 200-week moving average. These moving averages basically cross down, and then it's ugly, right? So like that's the like it happened here too. It's just the bull market kind of keeps going, but when that happens, the altcoins are still kind of thinking that we're going to be okay, right? It's going to be okay. So we can take another measurement. I lied. We're going to have one more measurement. This is just interesting stuff because like I think about this stuff all the time, and I'll do these videos occasionally, and then I'll forget about them. So let's do a date range from, we'll go with this all-time high to this last fake out. That's another 140 days. Okay, that's 140 days. And we'll go from this all-time high to or maybe we'll go to where that cross happens, right? We'll go to right here. 244 days. I think that's a little ambitious. We'll go with this one. 140 days. 140. So you'd be getting 120 to 160 days or something like that. Some kind of average of that, right? So we'll delete this one. So whatever happens after this peak. So we'll assume we got the 336 days solid. That's this distance. I'm going to change this. We'll do with we make this. I want to make this the super great one because I'm more altcoin heavy. That's the. But yeah, so August, September. And so that, I mean, like, yeah. Let's say 140 days. Depending how that really runs. We'll go a little bit further. 154 days. And that's about what, like, the length of this bull market probably. And it makes sense, honestly. Honestly, that all kind of makes sense to me. So basically with this information, I think Bitcoin's on top a little bit earlier than normal. Altcoins, maybe they run a little bit longer, depending on what happens to the economy and the world and everything like that. I mean, we've got elections coming up. I think for the most part, this year is going to be mostly positive. They're going to fuel the markets to make the elections seem all good and gravy. We'll get a president one way or another. Half of everybody's going to be happy, and then there'll be some optimism, and then something may happen in the beginning of next year because of policies happening now or unforeseen event. So, yeah. I think there's going to be some kind of a housing bubble, not a housing bubble exactly, but all these giant buildings that are charging a lot of rent to companies that they're only half full. And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people working from home a lot of the time, a lot more. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here is what's going to happen. And I think what I lost was one of my Elliott waves. And we'll do that real quick. I don't know why it completely just deleted. It's no fun. Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go with that. So I'm thinking what I want to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. That's what I would like to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But this is like what to expect. I think over the next year and a half, it's going to be pretty bullish. But just buckle up. All right. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's take a look at some altcoins. All right, Pendle. I don't know much about that, but that one's really running. Mint. So you got Chili's. That's like I believe that's like a sports event, a concert ticket, NFT type of thing. XRP is looking kind of interesting. XRP and XLM, they're in consolidations, and they look like they're just getting ready to launch at some point here soon. Let's see, Rune, Algorand, Fetch AI, XEC. Nothing too crazy though. It's for the hour. Ton, which is like a lot of people are talking about this. Twitter is really getting really into blockchain, so that's one to maybe look at. The only problem with Ton, it's already kind of run so hard. Like I would really like to get into coins when they're down here. I know enough about them. I mean, this thing could still, of course, rip to like $50 or $100. Where is it on? It's number 11 on the market cap. You know, it's just I have a hard time. If it's 11 on the market cap, like that's too high. Yeah, that's just. I mean, you're probably looking at like a 10x tops. So $50 per coin. I mean, that's great, but I don't like that structure. I don't see the benefit. I'm also not a big. No, did I say Twitter? No, it's Telegram. It's the Telegram coin. Dogecoin's the Twitter coin, but Tone coin, I don't see the big advantage of it. And these are a lot of the ones I'm looking at. Let's look at what's moving in the last 24 hours. So we got Mantle, Ordinals. I'm not sure. I'm not big on that. BitTensor might 5 or 10x. Singularity Net, I'm really proud that I got into that somewhat early. Tezos is moving. That's interesting. Number 93, you can stick this for 5 or 6% on Exodus and Atomic as well as Coinbase. I'm still a big fan of staking. If you stake your stuff right now, you probably got about a year of rewards that you can gather on them, so that's pretty good. Gala, Celestia. I think Zilliqa is looking pretty interesting. It's made a higher high. It's consolidating on its previous support. You know, I think this thing could possibly go to $1. I'm not trying to be too optimistic. I mean, I think it could at least go to its all-time high, the 24 cents. But this coin, I think it could really do some interesting things. Here's XRP on this consolidation, this parabolic, what I'm projecting to be a parabolic rally. Tezos, Kava, H-bar. Look at the H-bar real quick. What's H-bar doing? It's like so slow, methodical. I mean, it's really shaping up to be one hell of a let's look at this thing. I mean, its high was almost 70 cents. It's just starting its rally. Again, I think we have a year and a half for a lot of these altcoins. I'd say a year for Bitcoin tops, and then a year and a half. Again, assuming we break this all-time high, which I'm not gonna lie, it does look like we are. And a couple of my last few videos have been bearish in the way of thinking that we're gonna come down. Yeah. I want us. I really do. I want us to come down so we can refuel. But if it doesn't happen, it's going to be a shorter cycle. I mean, more than likely. So, it is what it is. Is what it is. But I think I'm going to run off here. I got to get some food. But thanks for stopping in. If anything too crazy happens in the markets, I'll check back in. But looks like the bull market rally is still intact. We got Bitcoin halving in like 10, 12, 15 days. And that should be pretty interesting. But hang in there, huddle on, and we'll check back in later. Peace.